It's now time to talk about esports, which is our focus on today's edition of the show. Oftentimes you hear esports and gaming. What exactly does it entail? And what we'll be assessing this industry, this market that has been projected to be over $1 billion at this point in time. Now, esports market is booming, and this emerging attraction already has a larger audience than American football and rugby combined, and this is according to a study by Forbes. Furthermore, the burgeoning sports is predicted to generate more revenue than both the UEFA Champions League and Formula One in 2022, and that explains the enthusiasm or the buzz surrounding esports and gaming at this point in time, considering that it is now a money-spinning venture. It's not just playing for fun, it's also becoming more competitive, as it were. As competitive video games continue to integrate into popular culture, global investors, brands, and media outlets are all paying attention. Now, the esports market is worth over $1 billion as an industry with over 475 million active followers. Now, the sport is also increasingly becoming popular with star athletes, yes, and celebrities such as Michael Jordan, Steph Curry, Cristiano Ronaldo, Drake, and Will Smith also being involved. The industry is definitely seeing an influx of cultural icons. And talking about cultural icons, you should understand that music is also one of the main entry points to the industry, as top acts have recently been integrated into esports tournaments, streaming platforms, and gaming titles, with the entry of organizations like Rock Nation Sports. And we're also seeing a direct tie between hip hop and esports. Now, in 2018, you have the agency signing gaming superstar Musad Al-Dosari after his win at the 2018 FIFA E-World Cup, as well as looking to increase its eSports footprint. Now, I know some of you might not know this, but we have the same way you have the FIFA World Cup, you have the FIFA eSports World Cup as well, where the best of gamers across the globe, try to compete to become the world champion. And there you have Mossad Al-Dosari emerging victorious from the 2018 edition. You know quite well that there's the 2022 World Cup coming up in November in Qatar, and you can be rest assured that we will have more of that. Now let's talk about the pop culture again. The continued pop culturalization of the industry has helped power the explosions in esports in terms of investment and revenue. Esports has hit that stratosphere in large part because of the social component of live streaming and gaming. Now, for live streaming, that's where the beauty comes in, that you can play games with an opponent and you can always live stream so that you have audience. It's all about traction, those who can, tune in to watch the games that are being played. And this is where, it gets really interesting. Now, earlier I said, we would talk about the Nigerian esports industry as well. And for the Nigerian esports industry, you should understand that while it is not yet, booming like that of the European scene, we still have, people who play, or fans, who play the sport right here. We sat down with Toby Adesina, an esports expert, not quite long ago, and he had so much to say regarding the esports and gaming industry in Nigeria. Do take a listen.
Some things are obtainable in the Western world, and then there are some things that if you look at the Nigerian scene, you don't have to. I think when the standards are low, you can easily come in with a few millions and set up your workstation or your esports center. But when the standards are high, like let's say you want to set up your esports organization in a Western country where the market is already booming or saturated, if you want to call it that, I think it will cost more to set up a esports company in United States, for instance, or in Singapore, for instance, or in Eastern Asia. But here in Nigeria, I think it's a market that is yet untapped. So I think when you want to start esports company here in Nigeria, with a few millions, let's say 2 million, 3 million, you can easily set up a one-way esports org where you can only have one screen. Yeah, it's a market that I can say is yet untapped. So it's easy for you to come in with few figures and then make more money along the way, because there's so much money in esports here in Nigeria. Well, for PS, there are different consoles. I think, yeah, the common ones. Even what's the name now? Google Stadia just released theirs some years back. A good console as well. So I think I'll just talk basically on Xbox, PlayStation, and then Google Stadia. I think those are the top popular consoles for now. If you want to use an Xbox to set up your esports company, it will cost you some figures, yeah, because let's say one console, for instance, you can get the latest Xbox console for around 500. That's 500,000 naira. If you want to start with Xbox One, you don't want to go into the X series or the S series, you can start with Xbox One. Xbox One you can still get with like 200,000. But if you want to go with the latest version of consoles, you'll be spending close to 500,000 naira on each console. That's for Xbox. If it's for PlayStation, you'll be let's say PlayStation 5, for instance. I think that's the current latest version. You'll be spending close to roughly 500,000 as well, with all the accessories that comes with it, because you can't just buy only the console. When you're setting up a esport team, you're not just buying like someone who wants to play in his sitting room or on his couch. No, you have to buy some other accessories with it. There's some gears that comes with it, like the cameras, the virtual reality, kinetics that come with all these consoles. You have to get them as well, and they cost a lot. In fact, most of those products, when they are being shipped here to Nigeria, these dealers, they go and then they remove all those other accessories and they tell you to come and buy it separately. So there's no, you have no choice, only if you want to ship your products directly from the states, which I don't think it's economically advisable if you are starting up a esports company. So I think with all those accessories, you will need close to, like I said, 2 million, 3 million to start up your esports company.
I really don't see the gaming industry moving far because 5% appreciate gaming in Nigeria currently. The remaining still see it as a way of gambling. I've been in shops where gamers are being beaten. Their parents come to the shop, beat them out of the shop, say these are hoodlums you get. So in the next 5 years, I really don't see the gaming industry moving far. But those who appreciate it will take the gaming industry somewhere. Maybe hoping next 10 years.
Well, it's not really, it's not a very large industry, but it's coming up like we are seeing now. This is my first time participating in a competition like this, and I can see.
There was to be additional talking about the Nigerian industry, the prospects, as well as the challenges the industry is facing, talking about esports and gaming. Remember, there was once the stereotypical notion that trans were the ones who were playing games, who would abscond from school to go to viewing gaming centers to play games back then in secondary schools, among others. But that notion is now being eroded in the minds of so many parents and individuals who now understand that the industry has so much prospect, not just monetary, but also in terms of a career. It will shock you, or it will amaze you rather, that those who do not do anything, the only thing they do is just to play games, and that's how they earn a living. They do not work, no 9 to 5, no soft skill, just playing of games, and that's how they earn a living, a decent one at that, a legal living at that. Still talking about the Nigerian industry. You should understand that it's not just about the gamers, that's those who play games as well. We have those who also develop these games, and the games are not limited to football. You have basketball, Formula One, among others. There's a particular sample we would like to show you, which is carried out, which was carried out rather by Vixen Virtual, where the gaming, it was that of football, but was domesticated in terms of the Nigerian Professional Football League, where you had local clubs in Nigeria having their teams as well. Let's take a look.
Hello and welcome to all of our viewers from around the world. Just waiting for the players to emerge and we will be
You guys
underway.
do the game.
Welcome to all of our viewers from around the world. Just waiting for the players to emerge and we will be underway.
Talking about game development right there, and you have to give credit to that developer trying to domesticate the content in terms of Nigerian, football clubs right here in the Nigerian Professional Football League. You also have the NNL, among others. Now, let's continue our discussion even as we hit home stretch. Video gaming specific streaming platforms like Twitch and YouTube Gaming give fans a direct connection to the players and their teams, while more mainstream socials have allowed those connections to flourish. Now, you have different organizations like FaZe and Clan who are also moving aggressively into areas like merchandise, lending their brands more notoriety than if they stuck to esports alone. So it's not just esports, there's also the gaming aspect of things. And sports franchises are also embracing esports options. For example, your Formula One and football have been two of the fastest adopters, with the Premier League rolling out its e-Premier League in 2019, while Formula One had its esports inaugural competition in 2017. The Olympic Games is not left out, as the International Olympic Committee has also staged a slate of 5 esports, which it did ahead of the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games. So the Olympic Virtual Series featured competitions in auto racing, baseball, cycling, rowing, sailing, among others. Again, the industry, as I said, is worth at this point, or is estimated to be $1.4 billion. And by 2028, it will surpass the $2 billion mark. And it just shows you how lucrative esports and gaming is right about now. So if you are a very good game player, you know what it is. If you probably missed school, which is not advisable, by the way, back then, to play games, and you know quite well that you're good at it, you may want to consider that as a career